Hello, everyone, and welcome to another webinar powered by Royal Cyber. My name is Ali, and I'll be your host and one of the speakers for today. Now, some ground rules for a smoother experience before we begin. If you cannot see my screen or hear me properly, kindly notify me at the chat window located on the right side of the pan. During this presentation, you can post your questions and comments anytime in the chat box. Also, there will be a dedicated session for question and answers towards the end of this presentation. Your questions will be answered in the order in which they are received. And additionally, you can post your questions or write to us for a follow-up information on the email ID shown here, which is info@royalcyber.com. And finally, we would love to hear back from you about today's session by completing a short survey, which will be shared towards the tail end. Okay, so in the next 45 minutes, we will discuss how are we going to change the legacy to modern interfaces, which is we are going to use IBM HATS Essential and the micro screen generator utility, which is again powered by Royal Cyber. Next slide. Okay, so here is the quick glance of the agenda. So we are going to actually give an overview of IBM HATS. We will talk about the architecture and the benefits that are associated to it. We will also talk about those macros that we have built, or the utility that we have built over time, and of course the demonstration which is associated to it. Okay, now before we jump into the details, I just want to give you a glimpse of who's the speakers for today. So in the next slide, I'm going to be talking about, so that's me on the left-hand side. So I manage the middleware practice and of course, focusing on helping customers achieve the best ROI for their digital transformation journeys. And on my right side is basically my colleague, a very good friend, Mr. Hosh Mohammed. He's the IBM's HAT technical lead and having a strong capabilities on IBM HATs and other IBM technologies as well. So we will be discussing all of this in our session today. Okay. Next, so first thing first, let's talk about who we are. So we are basically mid-sized IT consulting and digital transformation company specializes in services, solutions, and softwares. We have over 2,500 plus employees globally. Our headquarters is in Naperville, Illinois, and we have our global presence with offices in Canada, the UK, Australia, and the Middle East. We do have multiple offshore development centers in India and other Asian countries, and our strategic partnership with several technology companies providing best of the breed software and solutions such as IBM, MuleSoft, Microsoft, Oracle, etc., coupled with business agility and following the Sun delivery model makes Royal Cyber an obvious choice for our customers globally. We've got some of our awards and recognitions as well. For example, we are ISO 9001, 27001 certified as well. We've got Employer of the Year award as well. And there are some other awards as well that we have received over time from different technology partners, and different organizations have given us some prestiges. Okay, before we jump and before Hosh will talk about IBM HATS, I just want to give this to my colleague Hosh so that he can talk about the overview of IBM HATS. Over to you, Hosh.
Thank you very much, Ali. So this is basically this slide presents the overview of IBM HATS. So HATS stands for Host Access Transformation Services. So using IBM HATS, that is a toolkit, means the development toolkit that helps you transform your text-based green screen application, whether those are 5250 application or 3270 or 3270E application. Those you can transform into web, portlet, or mobile or rich client interfaces. And also you can expose those your green screen applications as web services. HATS also can customize access to one or more host application. This can definitely significantly improve the navigation and productivity of a legacy application. Right at the bottom, you can see the image. On the top, there are 30 to 70 applications. Those are running on the mainframe, and 50 to 50 applications. Those are running on iSeries or A400 servers. Now, you can see those green screen applications using the HATS. We have transformed those in modern web applications or modern portlets, in web services, rich client, mobile devices. So you have multiple options to transform your host application on different platforms. In the same way, this is the high level architecture. For example, on the left side, you can see there are multiple screens, multiple 50 to 50, or we can say 30 to 70 screens. And when we transform using our HATS toolkit, we have summarized those two screens in a one web page. And we have given the tabs so that you can navigate on different screens by clicking the different tabs in your web page. So this is how we can transform your green application in modern web applications. In the same way, here is the architecture that how actually a HATS works itself. You can see at the top, you can see first it will capture, it will access the host screen, and it will check first screen event. Once the screen reaches, then it will check the screen recognition criteria. On your experience, normally if the fixed title, we get the fixed title on green screen applications, or some keys on the bottom, or whatever the text string that you think that this is mandatory text field. So you can take that as your screen recognition criteria. So if that screen recognition criteria meet, then it will execute the event that you have given, and it will perform different action based on that screen that we have mentioned in using HATS toolkit. So this is how, means at the first screen will be recognized, and then different actions will be performed based on the recognition criteria of that screen. HATS runtime tries to match the expected screen. If the recognition criteria match, continue to the next expected screen. In the same way, the screen will come, and based on the recognition criteria, we have whatever the actions we have added in the customization, those will be executed. Else, if a recognition criteria doesn't match, runtime will wait for host to continue update the presentation space and trigger event to perform the recognition criteria. So this is how the HATS architecture works. In the next slide here, we are explaining few benefits that HAT provide you. It will give you the modernized look and feel for 30 to 70 or 50 to 50 applications. You all know that it is difficult to train the new resources on those green screen applications, though. So using HATS, you will modernize those green screens. Easy to consume with low training and overhead for end users. So it will be easier for the organization to train their resources. Ability to extend the reach of an application to rich client internet or mobile devices internet. So means it will help you to extend your application, whether it is a rich client or internet or mobile devices or even web services. It will ability to expose existing application as web services, that I have already explained, that you can also, your green screen applications can be converted in modern web services. So it will help enable it as part of a service oriented architecture. Ability to improve the workflow and navigation of an existing application without making changes it. So you all know that it is quite difficult workflow at the back end at the green screen applications. It is quite difficult. So using HATS, we are not touching your code, we are not touching the source code, but still we help the user to easily navigate on different screens. no compromise on data security, because we are not altering your security, you are not altering your source code. It will rapid result with low development and maintenance cost. It will be easier to maintain your application, HATS application. It will reduce the risk and testing effort as the original application has not been changed. So whatever the transformation you have made using the HATS means it will not alter your backend application. So it will be easier and it will be safe to change those into, to transform your green screen application into modern web application. So this slide give you the overview what are the benefits that one developer can have. No production level programming skills means there are certain rules, you only need to get command on those rules. So it is easy to transform, it is easy for the developers to get good means grasp over this toolkit. No need to access or modify source code. Ability to produce results quickly, you can quickly, in our demo we will also show you that how it is easy to rapidly change your green screen application into modern web application. Easy to deploy, uh, needed on the client in a web browser, so you can deploy on different modern web application servers. Default rules allow host application. So you have the option, for example, if you go with the default rendering, it will be easier, it will still convert your green screen application into web application. But if you want to customize certain important screen, then definitely it will take some time to customize each screen. But using the default rendering, it is still very feasible. So companies can means heavily rely on those default rendering as well. Merge data from more than one screen into a single web interface, so you can extract the data from multiple screens and bring those that data from multiple screens on a single web page. It also provide you can access your green screen applications on your mobile devices. So this slide is basically will cover the macros. That is also the important feature. It will macros are actually the scripts that help navigate and interact with 30 to 70, 50 to 50 and VT host applications. Macros can be driven by integration objects or Java beans. When you create your web services, first you will create your macros, then your macros will be converted into integration objects, and those from those integration objects you can easily create your web services. Macros are the foundation for your web service support provided, and in macros you are required to provide the input, and then you can also extract the data or information from different screens. So macros basically are those scripts that are easily will run in the background, and it will extract the information from different screens and present. As an action such as the play macro or perform macro transform, these are different actions that you can perform using the macro to connect or disconnect a particular host connection as a button on a transformation. You can use multiple ways you can use your macros in HATS. So what we have done as RC, it was quite challenging. For example, being a developer, you can see it is a custom utility developed by RC HATS team in Java to bring all the macros information like screens captures, screen recognition, criteria selected, macros, action, etc. in one place. It will help team leads to streamline the review process for HATS macro development. So what this utility can give you, for example, you are working on a HATS project for so many months and you have developed multiple, for example, 40 to 50 macros. So being a technical lead, it will be hard to review all your macros by going into the development environment, by opening these, by to open the each script file and see what screen recognition criteria have been selected in this macro for particular screen, what actions have been performed, and what are the different other things that have been captured in this macro. So it is quite difficult to review your macros by those 50 macros using the development environment. So what RC has done, RC has developed a utility in Java. In that, you will provide two inputs. One, the screen recognition criteria folder, and the other, the macro scripts folder. So I will show you when you develop the HATS application, it automatically creates two folders. When you create the macro, it will create the macro folder, and it will also create the screen recognition criteria screens folder. So as input, you will provide those two things, and in the output, what it will provide you, it will provide you the comprehensive document so that you can easily review all your macros. So you can, whether you can email that document, your technical lead, and he can provide the recommendations based on that. So means we are also working on this utility for the future releases. What we are suggesting that also this utility can provide you the suggestions that these are the criteria of screen. These are the limitations of your means you haven't follow the certain standards in macros. So we will provide you the recommendation. So using the AI, we can also work on to automatically fix those issues. So these are the key benefits. These are the few benefits that we have mentioned in this slide deck. It will generate a single document with all macro details. Means whether you have 50 macros or you have 100 macros or 20 macros, we will generate a single document with all macro details. It will combine screen recognition criteria and action in one comprehensive file. It will enable easier code and screen review for leads. So means basically it will help the technical leads or team leads to review the macros. Allow technical leads to review macro logic without accessing the full project. So now you are not, technical leads are not required to have full access of the development environment. It will save time during the project handover and audits. It speeds up knowledge transfer and compliance check with ready to use documentation. It will enhance transparency and documentation quality, provide a clear, organized view of macro components for better understanding. It will promote better macro design practices. Means this practice will help the developer. They can improve their standards when they are designing the macros. It will encourage structured and consistent macro development through visibility. So now we have the demo. So in this demo, we will cover two things. First, I will create a simple HATS project, and it will tell you that how it is easy to create a HATS project using the default rendering. And then in the next, I will also show you that how we can easily use our utility to generate the comprehensive macro document so that you can review. So let me open my toolkit. You can see my screen, right? Okay, so what I am doing, let me create a HATS project here. This is the toolkit. This is the RAID, because HATS is a plugin as a RAID. You can show this is the application developer, and in that we have also installed the IBM HATS. So you will see the packages that we have installed: IBM HATS Core and IBM HATS Toolkit. So what we are going to do, this is HATS project that I am going to create. First HATS demo. And here you can choose the application server where you want to deploy your application, whether you can Germino, whatever the application, you have different options. And this is a ER name that will be the deployable file that you are going, it will create the ER file. Next, and here I am giving the host name. So this is the demo server that I am supposed to do. Let me, okay. So this is the demo server. 327023 is the port. So these are the templates that have been provided by HATS toolkit, but you can also add your own template here as well. You can customize these templates as well. So means it will give the modern look of your HATS application, that how your application should appear on the web page. I am finishing this. So I just want to connect here, make sure that I'm able to connect. So now using here, what I do, I just want to make one more adjustment. Here are different browser that you can open. I just want to select the Chrome. So here I right click my application. Now what it is doing, it is deploying and publishing your application on WebAssembly application server. Now see, this is the, so at the background, you saw that we had connected to the host. So this is the connection. Connection details, we are connecting to this host server. You can also see the terminal. So this is the 3270 page. And on the front page, what we are showing, this is the web application. So you can simply log in this page. So you can easily log in. So at the background, there will be a different screen, but you can see now it is a web page. You can click sign off button, whatever the button menu you want to navigate. So this is how you means you can convert your 3270 application into web application using the IBM HATS. So my next target is to run your utility. I just want to show you one more thing. So when you created the folder, you can see these are the screen captures, these are the macros, these are the different folders that it has created. So whenever you will create your macro, it will automatically generate a script file in this folder, and related to that macro, all the screen captures that you have taken, that you have captured, those will be saved in this macro. So what I have done here, let me go in my utility. So this is the configuration file. What I have given, I say that go on this location in the property file. You just need to provide the screen's name and the macros name. And I just want to say that generate a sample document here. So it will capture all your macros from this folder. It will capture all your screens from this folder, and it will generate your document here. So it is a command line utility. Let me go on this command line. So I have saved all your resources here. Then this is the jar file that you need to run. It will take some time based on the macros. You can see successfully created the text file on this location. So it has taken the screen, means captured all the macros, and it has saved your comprehensive document. So you can directly, when you will open this, it will give you all the details, means the macro name, the name of your macro, the screen name, the actions, the screen recognition criteria. So you can simply email this document to your technical lead, who can review all your macros based on this one single comprehensive document. So this is all about the what this macro screen generate utility can do. But we are also, in our next release, we are also adding the capabilities. So based on the capture, whatever it has, it will review this automatically, and it will give the recommendation what are the improvements that are required. So it will actually guide the developers to improve their macros based on the review whatever our utility has done. So thank you so much. This is all about the demo. Yes, Ali, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much, Hosh. So I think I just want to talk about the, first of all, I'd like to really talk about this is a phenomenal demo. And thank you very much, Hosh, for this. I think let's talk about the offer slide. There is an offer slide here. And if you could just go to the offer slide, please, for our audience today. No, I think not this one. There is an offer slide. Okay, anyways. So in the offer slide, we would like to really talk about uh, our in the offer slide, we would like to really give this advantage to our listeners today, that we have two plans for them. One is the assessment plan, where they can basically sit down with us. We will discuss how this can be done, and we can sort of create a basic kind of a proposal and share that with them for one use case, and then they can sort of implement it or roll it out. Or the other one is that the second option that we have is we can actually identify the entire implementation plan. We can talk about there is a 4 to 6 weeks of an effort that we are going to put it in. We're going to give you that proposal at a discounted price, and of course that can also be beneficial for you if you're looking to sort of move towards this utility that we have developed over time. Okay, so as we are moving towards our last part of the call, which is basically not the quiz, but of course the questions that audience has asked already. So, during the session, there were some questions that audience asked. So I will just, Hosh, ask you one by one. And if you can just please go to the next slide where it says questions, right? Because there's no quiz here. It's just going to be questions. Okay, so one of the question from the audience is that how does these macro screen generators improve productivity? So Hosh, what do you think? How does that happen?
Yeah, actually, as I have already mentioned during my presentation, that one single document technical lead or team leads can easily review. So means it will save your time. So now developers can quickly develop their macros because their guidance will always be there. So technical lead simply can review the macro using that document, and they can guide. So it will definitely improve the productivity, and it will standardize the macros process.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so the other question is how does HATS connect to host applications?
Yes, so it is quite easy. HATS actually provides the connection option. So whenever you can create your HATS application, you can provide the host name, whether it is a AS400 or it is a mainframe, whatever. You will provide the host name, and the type of your application, and also the port on which it is running. So all those details you will provide, and HATS toolkit will automatically connect to that. But unless you have the means connection, so later on you can also modify your connection. For example, if there is IP address or the host name changes, you can simply modify the connection file.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So we have another one from the audience. How can HATS integrate with web services or APIs?
Yes, you can also create and develop web services using the HATS. So the step will be, first you will create the macros. So in macros, you will provide the inputs as a prompts, and then extract the information that you want to extract from the screens. So those macros, then from those macros, you can create the integration objects. Those are the Java Bean classes. And from those Java Bean classes, you can also generate the web service support file. So using those web service support file, you can create the web service. So basically behind the scene, there will be the macros, and you can deploy your web service on any web sphere, and then you can test your web service using any means modern tool like SOAP UI or Postman or even the curl command.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay, so I think this one is also there's another question from the audience. Can HATS be deployed on IBM Web Server Liberty or WebSphere application? Sorry, WebSphere Liberty or WebSphere application server?
Yes, you can deploy your application, your HATS application, whether it is an Germino web server or it is a WebSphere application server or Liberty. Yes, you can deploy.
Okay, and what
You can
input?
also deploy on the WebSphere portal as well.
Oh, Redis portal, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
WebSphere portal.
What input does the macro screen generator require?
Yeah, macro screen generator requires two input. One, the macros folder. So I have already explained during my demo that there will be the two folders. When you will create your macros, it will create the macros folder will be there. So you need to provide that as input, and also all the screens that have been captured during the development process of your macros, there will be the folder in HATS toolkit. So you need to provide that as well. So there will be two inputs, macros folder and screens folder.
Okay, that's excellent. So I think that is it from the audience. I don't think there's any other further questions, but let's just wait for another minute or so if there may be some other questions coming up from the audience. But in the meantime, please, we would like to request you to fill out the survey form at the end of this webinar so that we'll get to see more updates around what topics do you think would be better we can cover, and how do you want us to really talk about any of your preferred topics that may come up. Uh, okay, so I think we'll wait another 30 seconds. If there will be no questions, then I think we will wrap it up. So, okay. So I hope you like this demonstration that Hosh has presented, and I hope that you understood, and we can certainly talk about the assessment or your project details sooner or later. I think now that there are no more questions, let's just conclude this. Thank you very much, Hosh, for giving us this opportunity to not only
Thank you.
present but explain. And thank you very much, audience, for joining in. Till then, um, take care, and we'll connect soon again for another topic. Take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.